Welcome back. It's me, David Windsor, building a multi-million dollar spec home from the ground up, starting my own construction company for the very first time. And I'm here to share with you the things that I'm going through, the lessons I'm learning, and all the things I got going along with this project. So we're walking you through A to Z, this project. I'm going to teach you how I raised the money, show you how I went out and raised the money, how we got the bank loans, how we got the partners involved, my wife and I. My wife's doing the designing. We're going to show you A to Z how this project works. We're going to break down at the very end how much money we put in, how much money we made, and all the above. And along the way, I'm going to be showing you the things I'm learning and how I like to set up my jobs, because I'm still a little new to the construction side of things. And I really understand the logistics of construction. I understand how to manage and operate people, schedules, and get a collaborative group of people together to create a common goal and common success path. But the basics, the real details of the construction portion of it is where I'm still a little green and I'm learning. But I have a lot of experience and I'm looking forward to applying it. So the way I do things is I break it down pretty, I'm a kinesthetic and a visual learner. So I got to use colors. I got to put graphs. I got to put charts. I got to do things that are going to help me see the job in a different way. I don't have the superintendent mindset to get in there and fully visualize what something's going to look like. And I don't have the experience. Over time, I'm sure that'll grow. So with that being said, let's get started. Oh, by the way, you like the new swag, the new shirts? We got some new apparel coming our way. So that's exciting as always. So right now we are forming the footings on the job, and the footings and inside the dirt is a little bit where I'm less aware or experienced. So I'm going to show you how I read footing drawings and what I have to do in order for my brain to calculate it. And then I can take it out on the job site and make sure everyone's doing their job correctly. So that being said, we're looking at the footings. So here's our house. Zoom out a tad. So our garage comes in right here. And if you watch some of my other videos, you probably already know all this stuff. So we got the garage and then blah, blah, blah. So here's our footings. So what I do is I pull up the schedule and, so zoomed out here, here's your structural schedule. So it's going to teach you about, your fastening schedule, your shear wall schedule, your hold downs, your foundation walls. And so I'm going to the footing schedule. So I zoom in on this. And so I literally go through and I color coordinate everything. So FC20 is all in green. So I go through and I highlight everything in green that's FC20. And then I put in here what FC20 is. So I put FC20. It's a 20-inch width, continuous, C-O-N-T, continuous across all the way. And it has a depth of 10 inches. And then over here on the side, I'm not going to do this for every one of them because I actually hand wrote it. As you can see here, I've already taken my handwritten notes, my questions. I'm basically walking you through. And so I'll print this out sometimes and I'll do it in color with, a bunch of highlighters that I use. And that's how I do it. And that way I can take it to the job. So that being said, I'm not going to do this for all of them, but then I call out the reinforcements. So we're going to be using 2 number 4 half-inch. If you don't know, things maybe if you're watching this channel, maybe you know everything, but if you don't know, rebar goes in 1 through 8. So number 1 is 1/8 of an inch, and then it goes number 2, quarter, all the way up till a number 8 is 1 inch thick. So we're using half-inch thick. So we're using 2 number 4s, and that's length, and that goes continuous. So as we get over to like the FS36, that's going to have, over here, we're going to have crosswise spacing. So we're going to use 4 number 4s on the lengthwise, and then 2 foot 6 inches. And then over here on the crosswise, crossing up with against it, you're going to have 4 number 4s, 2 foot 6 inches, equal spacing. Like this one is 18 inches. So it's every 18 inches of the spacing. So that's how that works. And then, so I color coordinate all those. And then over here with my handwritten notes, I write down all these and I color coordinate those. And then I'll literally go into 3D drawing, because the 3D drawing is really helpful for someone like me. And not every architect does a 3D drawing. So I'm really lucky that we have that. So, excuse me, I'm all over the place. So I'm going to tap this one. And by the way, for those of you that don't know, I'm using the program Bluebeam. Bluebeam is it's an incredible program for if you're in building. You can measure, you can do elevations, you can color, you can put text, you can put notes, you can put clouds. It's really, really versatile. And if you've never heard of Bluebeam or use it and you're in the construction industry, I highly recommend you get this program. It's about $350 for a lifetime subscription, and then it's yours forever. So I would really recommend that you get this. So with that being said, continuing on. So I then go through with all this and I take my highlighter, change it to pink, and then we're going to look at, so we got all the FS36. So I can see that these are the FS36. So then I do this by hand. I actually come in with highlighters on a printed out piece of paper so it looks cleaner. But then I'll just go through and I'll highlight where all the FS36s are. This is an FS42, so I would change the color again, and I color this bad boy. Oh, weird. It won't let me color where there's elevation call outs. That's interesting. So I can color here, we'll say, but I'm trying to color this part. So anyway, I just go through and color all this. And then what I do is I take this out to site. And then when I'm watching these guys tie this rebar and all this stuff, I'm looking there with my colors because it makes it a lot easier for me. And sometimes the guys on site appreciate it. Sometimes they think I'm just completely green and I'm having elementary coloring school over here. But I take this sheet out to the job site and I just walk through every single thing and make sure that they're doing it. And then another big thing is if you go over to, where are we at? All right, excuse me, I got to open another document while I talk to you. So I'm opening up the construction drawings, and one more thing is the detail page. So I don't have the details in here, but so if you were to look right here, this detail is number 4 on SD1. So now I'm going to go over to SD1, and then that's the thicken slab schedule, or detail, but we're not doing slab right now. So we're going to go to a footing detail, which is going to be 1 on SD1. So we're going to go to detail 1, foundation wall detail. And so in here is your footing. But one of the things you got to make sure of that a lot of people don't do is this 3 inches is really big. So this rebar, this is your rebar running continuously through the footing. And if it's not 3 inches above ground, it's just laying on the ground, or it's 2 inches or 1 inch. And that's not what it calls for. But this is where a lot of the times the rebar guys, the form concrete guys, they get a little lazy and they kind of skip this step and it'll droop in the middle, or they'll have it 1 inch or 2 inches. Sometimes it's even laying on the ground because they're so lazy. And that's where you got to come in, and they have these little Dolby things or little, rock chips, concrete little things, and they put them underneath the rebar to hold it up. And if they're not doing that at that 3 inch thing, and you need to go through and make sure that all your rebar is 3 inches off the ground, because that's what's required by the engineer. And if these guys are too lazy and don't do it, and you're too lazy to check them or too busy to check them or have someone else check them, you could be liable in the end if you have a footing settle or something happens. I mean, if you don't make sure that this happens, you as the contractor or the homeowner, i.e. I'm both right now, you're liable for this. So these are things that I'm learning as I go. And so I'm making sure I use my little colors and all this stuff to make sure that I'm checking in and capturing every detail. Did I go through all the green? Did I go through all the yellow? Whatever works for you, get consistent with it and have a system. And as always, if you have an idea or a technique that you use on your jobs that I'm not, that I could be using that's better for me, or you have a lot of experience in concrete, please put something in the comments. Let me know. I'm here to learn. I'm here to help you guys understand what I'm doing, and maybe I could do it better. And so that's the way I read footing and foundation drawings as these guys start to form and tie the rebar on site. That's how I go out and double check that the work's getting done to the specs and to what the engineer has required. So that's it for today. Form and footings, 2 more days. We got an inspection, and then we're going to be pouring footings. And once we get concrete in the ground, we're going to start going vertical with those walls. And then, man, it's game on. Then we're really excited. Then we got a lot of people moving on site, and we're going to be moving and grooving. So summer's coming. It's about 60 degrees today man, it's the last day of April. So it's exciting. We got some good weather our way. So thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with your friends. In addition, you can go over to davidwindsor.com, as I'm going to be building out templates over time, templates how to market your business, talk to clients, schedule your jobs, of course, bid your jobs, and a bunch of other templates for free. All I ask is you like, subscribe, and share this podcast. Thanks again for watching. Hope to see you next time. Check it out. This is David Windsor building a multi-million-dollar spec home in my new construction business from scratch. Peace.